Welcome back to Top 5.
Five. The Night Demon. On the Tanzanian island of Pemba, in the Indian Ocean, a dreadful specter lurked in the shadows, the popobawa, or batwing. This shape-shifting malevolent spirit could take various forms, from a bat to a twisted human figure. Although it typically emerged at night, sightings during daylight were not unheard of. The popobawa was indiscriminate in its targets, striking fear into the hearts of men, who reported a particularly terrifying aspect of the creature's behavior: it sexually assaulted its victims. The tale of the popobawa was relatively new, emerging only a few decades prior during a time of political unrest following the assassination of Tanzania's president. Rumor had it that after suffering an attack, victims were compelled to share their experiences with others in the community. Failing to do so meant they risked a recurrent visit from the dreadful creature. Reports of attacks set panic throughout the island. In 2007, the BBC reported that some men chose to sleep outside in groups, fearful of being targeted. Others resorted to smearing themselves with pig's oil, convinced it would shield them from the popobawa. In 1997, a local peasant farmer named Mjaka Hamad would become one of the many to encounter this terrifying spirit. "I couldn't see it. I could only feel it," he recounted. "But some people in my house could see it. Everybody was terrified, and they were outside screaming, 'Hio,' which means the popobawa is there. It crushed me with a bad pain in my ribs. I didn't believe in spirits, maybe that's why it attacked me. Perhaps it will attack anyone who doesn't believe." 4. The Girl in the Bathroom. Japanese schools hold an unsettling secret, known by those daring enough to whisper the chilling tale. On the third floor, within the confines of the girl's bathroom, lurks an apparition named Hanako-san. Within the third stall, those brave enough to summon her must knock 3 times and call her name. If they dare push open the door, they might find her, a little girl clad in a red skirt, her bobbed hair framing her face. Hanako-san's true intentions fluctuate. Perhaps she seeks companionship, or perhaps her sinister motives involve dragging innocents down to hell, pulling them through the very toilet itself. The legend has woven itself into Japan's urban folklore over the last 70 years. One of the most popular origin stories posits that during World War II, a schoolgirl was trapped in the restroom when a bomb fell, sealing her fate in the collapsing school building. Many believe Hanako has remained there, haunting the stall and searching for playmates, while variations of the legend include her sinister transformation into a bloodied figure that seizes unsuspecting children. Not far from Hanako's story is that of Kashima Reiko, another tragic figure, severed in two by a train. She now wanders bathrooms, asking those who enter where her legs are, and if the answer does not satisfy her, she exacts a horrific price. 3. The Woman of Your Worst Dreams. In the shadows of Brazil, a gaunt figure known as La Pisadira haunts the night. With long, bony fingers and glaring red eyes, she prowls rooftops, intently watching families as they sit together for dinner. Every mouthful consumed makes her bide her time, and when the food settles in the stomachs of her unsuspecting victims, La Pisadira creeps into their bedrooms to enact her dreadful deed. She lays heavy upon her prey's chest, inducing a terrifying state of paralyzed vulnerability. It's as if the very air thickens, and the breath catches in their throats. The victim's eyes may flutter open, teetering on the edge between wakefulness and deep sleep, only to bear witness to their own helplessness. Those targeted find themselves trapped, unable to scream or call for help, their bodies unresponsive as they can only bear witness to La Pisadira's sinister presence. The phenomenon of sleep paralysis resonates with many and across cultures. Terrifying tales of malevolent beings hovering above immobilized bodies echo through stories shared in hushed tones, as countless individuals grapple with the terrifying experience that La Pisadira exemplifies. 2. The Weeping Woman. Long ago in Mexico, a woman named Maria fell prey to despair. With cascading dark hair and a heart filled with longing, she found herself in a troubled love affair. When the object of her affections turned away from her, blinded by rage and heartbreak, she took her children to the river, drowning them in a fit of madness. The moment she understood the horror of her actions, she too took her life, throwing herself into the very waters that claimed her children. Yet heaven denied her entry. Instead, Maria was condemned to wander the earth forever, mourning her lost children. She became known as La Llorona, the Wailing Woman of Mexico. Those who have seen her speak of a ghostly figure draped in white, drenched, and weeping, wandering riverbanks while calling for her children, crying out, "I, Ms. Hios. Oh, my children." Generations of children have grown up listening to her tale, especially those living near the borders of Mexico and the United States. Children often join friends in the dimly lit bathrooms, splashing water on mirrors and daring one another to summon La Llorona, each whispering her name thrice, seeing who could withstand the tension of waiting in the dark. 1. The Papabawa's Reign. The Popobawa looms larger than folklore on Pemba Island. It is a manifestation of collective fear, rising from the unrest of a post-colonial society struggling with change and uncertainty. Numerous accounts from islanders tell of sleepless nights spent in terror, devising rituals and charms to ward off the creature. The Popobawa is not merely a ghost story to tell at dusk, it embodies the unrest that lives in the hearts of the people. Reports of attacks, especially those on men in their own homes, invoke a stark reminder of physical and mental vulnerabilities and their profound socio-political implications. Those who survive their encounters are left affected, bearing scars that intertwine the supernatural with the very fabric of cultural memory. As long as the story of the Popobawa is told, the darkness remains a looming presence, haunting the unsuspecting, ensuring that the cycle of caution, fear, and folklore continues on the Tanzanian shores.